Hello and welcome back to Complicated Things. I love shooting digital. My clients love me to shoot digital, but you know what I really like doing? Shooting a roll of film. What I hate about shooting a roll of film is having to go to the lab and get it devved and all that stuff. So today we are going to shoot a roll of film on this beautiful old Leica 3A, and I'm going to show you how I dev it right here at home. This is a Leica 3A. It's what's called a Barnack or Oscar Barnack edition or whatever. It's before the M. It's got a beautiful little telescopic 50mm lens, and it's a stunning camera that makes beautiful photographs. Ask Henri Cartier-Bresson, or not because he's dead. But look at his photographs because they're really stunning. It's a little tricky to load, so I'm going to load it up, I'm going to shoot it, and then we're going to develop it right here on this table. So what do you need to actually load the film? You need a Leica or any other camera, but this is a Leica 3A, and it needs to be loaded in a specific way. You need a roll of film, and 9 times out of 10, you need a pair of scissors. I'm actually going to try a version today that I just learned that apparently doesn't need scissors. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to take off my lens by twisting it. So my lens is off. Cool. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my shutter at T and open my shutter. There is my shutter open, set at T. I'm gonna open the back of the camera. Pull out the little load reel from here. Tuck my film into the little slot. This is a tricky bit because what you gotta do, you got to make sure that it gets caught, sits flat on that, goes under the little piece in the middle here. So if you've set your camera at T, if you look in there, you can see the film, you can see its position rightly on the film plane, and that's how you load it without a pair of scissors. I'm actually quite excited to hear what all you guys have to say about that, and probably come and kill me, but that's how I've been doing it. And then you just take it off T, and you're ready to put your back plate back on, put your lensy back on. One thing not to forget is that you want to make sure that you set your film counter back to 0. Good. This is the street. I'm on the street. Here's the camera. When you're shooting with this camera, you have to assume the stance. You don't really have to do that, but what you do have to do is look through the rangefinder, get a little focus. I'm in my happy place. We went out on the streets of New York City and we shot a roll of 35mm film. Now, what usually happens is I put this over there on my desk and I gotta go to the lab tomorrow. And then I see it the next day and I still haven't gone to the lab. And then after like 10 days, I think, I don't want to look at this roll of film anymore because I'm not going to the lab, because I'm too lazy. So I stick it in a drawer and it gets forgotten about. But I'm still excited about seeing these photos, but I can do it right here today, thanks to this cool little thing made by Labbox. It's a 35 and 120mm processor where you don't need a darkroom. The other thing I'm going to use today, which makes life easier, is CineStill. It is a 1 chemical bath. So it does your development, it does your stop bath, and it does your fixer all in one. So I'm not changing chemicals through it. one chemical in and out, wash, dry, scan, happy chap. I'm going to show you how it all works. The Leica wind, I've wound that film right back in. Now I'm not using a darkroom here, so how do I get the tail out? You can buy a little thing, but I remembered this little trick from college, and I want to see if it still works. First of all, hold it up to your ear and just turn the film till you kind of hear it click past. There we go. So once you hear it click past, just hold it there, put it down, grab another unused roll of film and wet this little leader a little bit so it gets sticky. Nice. I used to just lick it, but I don't think you're allowed to do that anymore. Now I'm going to feed this bit into this bit, and I'm going to pull it apart, and hopefully it'll bring the leader out. Yeah, see, just like that. All right, let's try that once more. Oh, so close. Try and wind it a little bit. Make sure it's caught on.
Six and a half hours later. 6 months later.
Aha! So there we go. That's how you get it out. We might not show you the 15 cuts where that didn't work, or maybe Jake will put them in, but that's how you get it out. All right, let's dive it. Let's talk about this lab box. It's a really cool little tank idea, and here's pretty much how it works. They have much better videos online than I can show you, but let's just do it anyway. This is a little 35 millimeter roll holder. And this is the actual tank. So we're going to attach these two together. First of all, make sure they click. Nice light seal. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some of the Cine Still. Well, it's a lie to say I'm going to mix it up. I'm just going to pour it because you don't have to mix it. But they do have a powder version if you want to do that. Here we go. I'm going to pour out 500 milliliters. See the magic of that? See that? That's because it's got a stopper in. Get out, wee stopper! Get out! Alright, stopper's out. Done. I'm going to check the temperature of this. And the temperature appears to be 75 degrees. That's just what the temperature is in the room right now. That's why Jacob's sweating. I'm not, because I don't sweat so much. All right, 75 degrees. Now, on the Cine Still website or anywhere you'll look, you're going to find instructions for how to process this. I just shot Ilford HP5 at 400 ISO. I actually rated it at 200. That's the way I do it, but I'm going to process it as if it's regular. Time for development is 7 minutes with maybe 10 seconds of agitation every minute. So I'm going to set this tank up and I'll show you how it works. First thing is this reel. I'm going to take out this winder and pop in my reel, making sure it's the right way around. And then I'm going to put my little winder back in. All right, so that's going to wind nicely. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I am going to take my roll of 35 millimeter film and I'm just going to pop it under these two bars here. Place it in here, and then I'm just going to, well, we want a straight edge, so there's a built-in cutter here, and all I'm going to do is hold it here and cut up, take off that crappy bit of film, and then I'm going to push it under again. A little bit, and then I'm going to clip it onto the reel thing that holds it. What's kind of important is to try and get this as straight and as centered in the film as you can, because what's going to happen is this little guide is going to guide the film onto the spiral. So we'll drop that in. Now we're going to clip it on. I'm going to try and put it right in the middle. And just press it so it clicks. All right. And then if I start winding here, you can see that this is going to get wound nicely onto that reel. So at this point, I got to close the lid. So I'm going to close the lid. I'm going to wind it onto the reel. Sounds good, right? And then you're going to feel some resistance. And then you know you're done. So all I'm going to do now is cut off my excess, wind it on a little bit further. And that's me totally on this reel, which is super cool. All right, chemicals, really simple. 7 minutes. I'm just going to pour it in. I'm going to set my timer. Alexa, Google, name day. 7-minute timer. Okay. And I'm sorry, I'm turning it around a little bit, but I want to kind of agitate as I'm pouring in. So I'm going to press go. I'm going to start pouring and agitating at the same time by turning that handle. I actually set a 7-hour timer by accident. Which is kind of annoying, but anyway. All right, so that's it all in. I set a 7-hour timer. All right, let's fix that. I'm going to wait for the 10 here, and then I'm going to go down from 10 seconds agitation. 10, 7, 5, 3, 2, 1. All right, I've got 7 minutes left. Oh, Jake set a timer. Oh, he's so smart. I've got 5 minutes and 32. Ignore the timer. All right, we'll see you in 5 minutes and 32 seconds. Okay, so I'm coming up to the end of my time now. I'm just going to do a little bit of agitation. Got 30 seconds left. What's cool about this CineStill is you can actually use it for 20 rolls of film. I'm just going to put it away. Add some time, I think 15 seconds for every roll after you've done your first one. You can use it for 16, 17 rolls or something. So fairly economical. All right, 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to pour my chemical back out. Now at this point the film is developed, stopped and fixed, so I can take this lid off and I can take off this little back piece here with the film cap. And so all I'm going to do now, take this off because there's no need for this to get wet. I'm just going to go into our little kitchen here and I'm going to run this underwater for 15 or 20 minutes. I'll see you then. Okay, moment of truth. I just washed this film. I've taken the spool out. And now we're going to see if there are any images on it. Haha! We have photographs. I don't know. Can you see that anyway, Jake? Yeah, we have images. So let me just dry this film and we'll go for the next steps. One sheet, 35mm film, processed. Some odd exposures in there, but some nice exposures as well. So I'm pretty happy, really happy with the way this came out. With regards to the photos, scanned and processed a couple and made some prints. I kind of like this one because this guy's, obviously on strike with SAG-AFTRA at the moment, and we support that. Does that mean we should really be making this video? We're not union, but we support the actors' strike, and we support that, I think, like we do, and the writers and all that. We support. But I kind of dig this photo because he's holding a camera and he's just busy. But what I like most about it is the kind of Mexican figure there. inflatable with a guitar. So I printed that one out because it was kind of fun. The next one I printed out, I really like because it looks like it was shot 80 years ago. And the reason it looks like that is because it was shot on a camera that was built 80 years ago and a lens that was made 80 years ago. And, you know, New York from kind of like car upwards doesn't look that different in this picture. And I really like that. I think it's really beautiful. I'm super pleased with it. So that was a fun day. If you're the kind of person that likes to shoot a roll of film, occasionally a couple of rolls of film, I really recommend doing something like the lab box. It's super cheap. I don't know, after your initial investment for the box and stuff like that, but just being able to process it immediately, get it done, get it dried, you know, get it in bags. I think it's a great product. It's actually quite fun as well to use. Feels really good to process your own film. So thank you, Labbox. I think it's great. Secret ingredient today was a Leica 3A, an old Barnack from the 30s, 1938. And this one belonged to my father-in-law, Tennyson Shad, who is no longer with us, but his camera is, and it's under my care right now. And I'm super excited to get out there and shoot more film on it. If you liked the video, or if you didn't like the video, I don't really care. Like and subscribe and tell us why you didn't like it so I can be really snarky on my comments. And next time, or maybe not next time, but pretty soon, I'm going to show you my process for scanning this film and making these prints. So keep watching, get out there, take some photos, film or not, doesn't matter, take photos. See you next time. Bye.